Alright, y'all. So, this video is going to be out of Wisconsin. This is going to be about a school district in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, that says parents not entitled to know child's sexuality and pushes heterosexual privilege list. Alright. So, I'm going to get into that. They also have a white privilege test that I will talk about here in a minute. And again, there's a lot of information covered, so it's going to be a longer video than usual. Alright. So, Uh, start with actions of Eau Claire Area School District are not only dangerous to the mental, emotional, and physical health of its students, but they also violate the constitutional rights of parents to make choices about their family, life, and upbringing of their children. Alright, and I will agree with that, alright? As a parent, mother and father, or whatever the case may be, mother or father, you have a right to know about your child's life. All right. I think parents need to be more involved in the children's life. I think that is a big part. And raising your kid right is to be a part of their life and to let them know that, hey, whatever you decide to be, I'm either to support you. Obviously, if it's not doing anything illegal or hurting anyone else. All right. Now, they were saying some of them don't feel comfortable staying at home due to safety concerns or lack of acceptance. And yes, there are people out there, parents out there, that will disown their children or will kill their children, alright? But with that being said, there are a lot of parents out there that will accept the fact that their children wants to be, whatever the case may be, trans, gay, bi, whatever the case may be, alright? I will say a majority of the parents will accept their children at that rate. Alright? Some may not be happy about it, but they will accept it and they will live their life like that. Most people out there, or most parents out there, are not going to kill their kids over it or throw them out in the street. Now, like I said, obviously there are some people out there like that. But I do think the media plays a big part in that and making kids think that they can't talk to the parents. And now the school districts, this is not the only school, a lot of school districts are doing stuff like this to try and get kids not involved with their parents and family life, which I think it's wrong, alright? Now there's also a white privilege test that I want to talk about. So, remember, parents are not entitled to know their kids' identities. That knowledge must be earned. A training slideshow for the Eau Claire School District told staff, alright? So, as far as this white privilege test goes, alright? I'm going to go through the things that they say are the 14 questions, alright? So, white privilege test. Now it goes on to say these questions are based on the white privilege test written by Shimanda Nagasi Aji. I'm sure that name is probably not right. Anyways, and the research on white privilege by Peggy McIntosh says, please answer yes or no to the following questions. Alright. Number 1. If I wish to, I can arrange to be in the company of people of my race most of the time. 2. I can go shopping alone and be sure that I won't be followed or harassed. 3. I can be sure that no matter where I move my neighbors in that location will be pleasant or neutral to me. 4. I can turn on a television, open a newspaper, and see people of my race widely represented. 5. I can go to a museum or art gallery and will see people of my race widely represented in the objects and artwork. 6. I can be sure that when told about our national heritage or about civilization, I am sure that people of my color made it what it is. 7. I can be sure that my children will be taught a curriculum which testifies to the existence of their race. Alright. Number 8. I can go into a shop and easily find the food, music, or clothes which represents my race or fit with my cultural traditions. 9. I can go to a hairdresser and be sure that they can cut my hair. 10. I can count on my skin color not to work against the appearance of my financial viability. 11. I can swear, dress gruffly, or not answer letters without having people attribute these choices to the bad morals, poverty, or illiteracy of my race. 12. I can speak in a public to powerful male group without putting my race on trial. 13. I can do well professionally without being called a credit to my race. And then finally, 14. I am never asked to speak for my entire racial group. Alright. So, going through that, this is not the school's job. Alright? Your job is to not bring up any kind of gender issues. Alright? Your job is not to bring up any kind of racial issues. Alright? The only time either one of those options should be brought up, alright? As far as the gender thing goes, alright? Only time that should be brought up is if a child brings it up, alright? And the only way that I would see them bringing it up is A, something happened at home and they were abused when they came out and said it or something like that. B, they want to talk to a guidance counselor about it, which probably isn't going to happen, but you never know. Or C, they are being bullied about it at school. To me, that's the only 3 reasons that I can see where it should be needed to be brought up. Alright? Now, as far as race goes, that definitely is not the school's job. Alright? Only time that needs to be brought up is if there is a racial crime going on inside the school. That's it. Other than that, we do not need to be talking about race in school. Alright, as simple as that. And I'm not talking about, what happened with Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about stuff like this, where you have a white privilege test, like that. I'm telling you, schools nowadays are just out of control. They're really trying to take over. Alright? But I will say, the parents there are fighting back. So, I give them credit, but, these parents now, and a lot of these school districts are just fighting a losing battle, honestly. I mean, they'd be called domestic terrorists for standing up for their rights and having the school not interfere in their own life and their children's life. And now they're being called domestic terrorists for that. That, to me, is absurd. Alright? I just don't get it. Now, the school goes on to say, in the Eau Claire School District, we have a responsibility to meet with the needs of all students. As part of this work, district staff should training on February 25th, focus on creating Eau Claire Area School District. Let's see here. Data shows that students who identify as part of the LGBTQIA plus community experience mental health challenges and feel isolated at a much higher rate than their peers. For example, based on results from the most recent Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction Youth Risk Behavior Survey of high school students, 87% of LGBTQIA students report mental health concerns, and just 44% say feel a sense of belonging. This compared to 46% and 68% respectively for non-LGBTQA students. Alright, so I'm going to be honest here, alright? I know what LGBTQ stands for. I'm not sure what the I or the A plus is. So if anybody knows, let me know in the comments below, because that's a new one on me. I don't know what that one is. But if anybody knows that, definitely let me know in the comments below. Alright, so going on, it says among the guidelines presented to school staff for support of gender non-comforting youth is a clause that states students have a right to use any gender facility, that corresponds to their identity. This includes bathrooms and changing rooms for members of the biologically opposite sex. Alright, so goes on to say schools maintain separate restrooms and locker rooms for males and female students. Access should be allowed based on the gender identity, not sex assigned at birth. Alright. So, I'm just going to stop right there for a minute. Alright. This is a big issue across America. Alright. So, most of y'all already know how I feel about stuff like this. Alright. So, if you are a male, alright, and you are born a male, alright, you should not be going into the women's restroom. That's just how I feel, alright? Same thing for a female, alright? If you're a female and you go into the men's restroom, it's not, no. That to me is asking for trouble, alright? I just don't see it happening. If you are a female and you walk into the men's restroom, what do you think is going to happen? Alright? There's going to be issues there with that, alright? Same thing with a man walking into a women's restroom, especially in a public place. Alright, we've seen it in Arizona where that man sexually touched that girl in the bathroom and held her there in the bathroom against her will. Alright? Now, with that being said, I'm not saying that, every single person is trying to do that. But, to me, that's asking for problems, alright? And there's already a lot of people out there that said if they see stuff like this, there's going to be problems before they even get in there. So again, to me, that's asking for problems. Alright? And again, if I had a little girl or a little boy, and I saw a grown man walk in there with my daughter, it would be a problem. Or if I had a little boy and I saw a grown woman walk into the men's restroom, I would have a problem with that also. So to me, that's asking for problems that don't need to be there to begin with, alright? So it goes on to say, any student who is uncomfortable using a shared restroom or locker room regardless of the reason shall, upon request, be provided with an alternative. This may include, for example, addition of a privacy portion or current use of a nearby private restroom or office or a separate changing schedule. However, staff should not require transgender or gender conforming student/employee to use a separate, non-indicated space unless requested by the individual student. Alright. There's also been opposition to the district's heterosexual privilege checklist, which includes such assertion as my sexual orientation was never associated with a closet. I can kiss a person of the opposite gender without being watched and stared at. I am not grouped because of my sexual orientation, and I can remain oblivious to the language and culture of my LGBTQ folk without feeling in any culture any penalty for such oblivion. Alright. So, I can keep going on and on and on, but this school district here is something else. Alright, so I'm not even going to keep going, because this would be a hour-long video probably. So, I'm just going to wrap it up here, because this is going on 15 minutes, alright? So, like I said, only time race should be brought up, in my opinion, at school, is if a hate crime is being involved or a child is being judged on their race by either a teacher or a student, or students, whatever the case may be, alright? As far as the gender goes and stuff like that, alright, if you are part of that community, that's on you. Alright? I am not going to hate you for it. I'm not going to treat you differently. Everybody has a right to do what they want to do. Alright? That's why we live in America. You have that right to be gay, bi, trans, lesbian, whatever the case may be, whatever you want to do with your life. Alright, that's your life, that's your choice. Alright. Now, um, again, do I think that this should be taught in schools? Absolutely not. I think that this should be something that is kept inside a household. It should be kept with parents, especially at a child's age. Alright? You know, again, at when you're living at home, that's something that should be kept between you and family members. Alright? Now, if you want to bring it up in school, that's on you. If you want to talk to, a guidance counselor or whatever the case may be about it, that's completely up to you. But I don't think the school should be openly talking about this, trying to influence you one way or another. Again, I think that should be kept between you and family members, unless, of course, you bring it up. That's just me personally. As far as the whole bathroom situation goes, this is something that's been going on for years. It will continue to go on. To me, it's just a losing battle with that. Again, if you are a male, you don't need to be going in there with other girls. If you're a girl, you don't need to be going in with other men. That's just me personally, alright? But with that being said, like I said, this is a very long video for me. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. How y'all feel about this. If y'all agree with me all the way, disagree with me on certain things, let me know. And as always, thank y'all for watching, and y'all stay safe out there.